Everyone, welcome to a Monday night stream on the backup channel because we're still blocked until at least, from what I can see, at least Thursday. So it looks like Friday will be the first back to normal stream that we can do. And we went from 0 to 17 people. Thank you, YouTube. So I need a beach. Hello. Me and Charlie, hope we're doing well. I'm doing well. Charlie has sort of relapsed a little bit. So I'm actually going to take him to a dog chiropractor next before I do anything else. Hello, Alan. Shalom. Back to yourself. Hello, Jacob Law. Jeff Wheeler. Hello back. And Tex Murphy. Shalom from New Jersey. A lot of shaloms tonight. Shalom, shalom. Deborah Labarsky. Hello. Hello, everyone. And never mind. Now, in case you don't know it, there has been not just one, but two more releases of the Lost History of Flat Earth. And we're going to talk about one in particular. I'm not going to go through it really, but it's the best one I've seen yet. It's a little technical. It's not difficult, but it's technical. And it goes through all the different proposed movements of the Earth in the heliocentric model. And he does a good job, at least, introducing you to the fact that I think I got the wrong one. Hold on. Let me get the right one for you guys. He does a good job introducing you to the fact that the Catholic Church is one that came up with all of this stuff, as we've been saying. And no, this is the right one. Why is it saying? Hold on. I must have two different ones open. I do. There we go. So let me get rid of this one. So I will give you links to both of them. There's been two since the last stream, at least two. This one right here, this is the one we're going to talk about. Just a little bit. You have to watch. It's an hour, 13 minutes. And like I said, this one gets a little technical, but it is into, he starts with sundials. And gets into the heliocentric model, how they came up with it, the sleight of hand they used, and how everything as a sun has to do with sun worship. Everything. Of course, we know that. And he gets into these churches who have put holes in their building so that they can track the sun. Anyway, anybody that so due to this precession, our pole star 5,000 years ago was Tuban, and in the constellation of Draco, and then 5,000 years from now or whatever, it's going to be another one. I think it's entire constellation change every 2,160 years. He goes through all these different things, and I'm like, why is he going through all this? Oh, this is the important thing, the eccentricity. How it is, we're now supposedly in their model, we're closest to the perfectly round circle versus it supposedly goes out to this. And he gets into this, which is very good, shows you from a point of view of like stellarium, putting the sun on the celestial dome, and shows how it moves throughout the year. He goes through all this, so there's no doubt what's going on. He knows, he understands it. And then he comes back to this right here. And this is what produces the analemma, okay? And Of course, they say it's slightly elliptical because that's our orbit. Well, all this gets blown out of the water, almost literally. And he shows problems with the flat Earth model too. And I agree. There's issues with the flat Earth model. I don't know exactly what they are because we have to sift through the lies. I personally have always preferred the square model, although I can't say why. There's just some things seem simpler on that. You know, the Pac-Man model where the sun goes to one side and then it just reappears on the other side. And I don't talk about that much because people can't handle that because to them that's not reality. It can't be possible. Trust me, if man can think it up, it's possible. Now it gets into the obliquity of the ecliptic and again, how different things and actual history of the obliquity of the ecliptic that was able to be traced out. And what's interesting is they came to the realization that this is a curve of recovery. In other words, back here, some event happened. I don't know, maybe pouring out of waters from where the sun is located. I don't know. He hasn't gotten there yet. That disrupted the sun. And its 23.5 degree oscillation back and forth. They've been able to go through history and see where it was. And this is known as a curve of recovery. Every single one, the next curve is smaller and smaller. So the sun is going back to where it used to be. And you can see here, you have the 3 different recoveries. The bottom line is, let me show you this. All these different quote unquote ancient, this was the most amazing right here. This one right here, on the equinox, the sun will come straight through this window. And then it just keeps going down and down and down. It's pretty remarkable. But he shows all these different timepieces and how they all still to this day. See how the sun comes in here? On the equinox, only on the equinox. And we know the date supposedly of these things from our history, which we know is a lie anyway. But the bottom line is, I hate to almost spoil it, but I want to tell you about it because, oh yeah, here's where he gets into the history of it. And where is it? Where does he come back to these structures? Anyway, you see the structures and how they all align on the equinox. Let me get rid of this now. And the amazing thing is the progression of how many degrees per 70 years or whatever it ends up being. All of these structures should be not even close to the equinox by now. From the time they were built till now, some of them are actually should be over a month off. In other words, instead of the equinox, maybe in late May it would align, or in some others it's a lot closer if it's a more if it was built more recently, the whatever it is that's tracking the equinox. So their own model and these ancient structures that aligned with the sun on the equinoxes, they all show that because of the age of these structures, that their model is false because we don't have this drift. We don't have all these different movements. The sun comes back over and over and over and over again on the equinox. When their model, it has to change. So very, very good video. Hello, Vintage and Von Neumann. Rolos. Hello, hello. Jason Frew. You got it. They work on their suntan. Here's the video link to that one. That's right, Jason. It's not called a sky clock for nothing. Yep. Hello, Oregon, SLH. Hello, David, Chic David. Hello, and Stanley. Who else I miss? Josie, Whale of Beef. Hello, Whale of Beef. Michael Spencer. Hello, Chipper66. A lot of latecomers tonight. I'm the one that's usually late. How dare you be later than me? So that's one. The other one gets into literature and how facts are hidden in the literature that we can uncover. And I didn't think I was going to like it. I was like, oh, this is going to be boring. But it ended up being interesting. It really did. And I guess did I get rid of it? Yeah, I got rid of it. So let me get, whoa. Let's see. Let's get the latest one for you. I'll drop that and then we'll be good to go. And we can talk about anything. Alrighty. The latest one is Lost History of Flat Earth number 23. And so I watched that one today. Like I said, I thought I was going to be bored with this one. I was actually like the literature one in the end more than I did when he goes through all the cosmology of the Earth, believe it or not. I mean, because anybody that's been in this, we know pretty much what the cosmology is. But he was brilliant with showing that in their model, these ancient structures would not align anymore. They wouldn't even be close. Oh, could be. Yeah, it surprised me how many people think we would fall off the edge of the Earth. Therefore, the Earth is a ball. I call these people like that single-dimensional thinkers, and you see it everywhere. You see it everywhere. They came out with. I mean, we know now the Hunter Biden story is true, and it was posted on Twitter. And I decided I'm just going to look and see what the morons say. The first one, there's still no evidence. Okay, I understand that we shall see that Hunter Biden is close to being indicted. And even if he is, do you think it'll lead to Joe Biden? Because it should be. If Hunter Biden is close to being indicted, Joe Biden should be right there too. From what we know, what's on the laptop. Watch what doesn't happen. Which math in particular is the title of this video referring to? The mathematics of the precession and the different movements of the Earth through the universe over time. So you have to watch the video, Vaughn. It is the first link I left up there. So watch the video, you will get it. It's this first one here. Ends with a GW. That link. And he explains it all. So let him explain it. Eric H. Yep, we started without you. I did wait. I was like, Eric H. isn't here. Let's give it a 2 minutes of silence. We did in honor of our great president, but it's you're 17 minutes in, so you missed it by 15 minutes. Good to have you, Eric. Reg F, I've seen the Hunter Biden drug addiction video on Facebook. I believe someone shared in story. Surprised it's still there. You know, when I first went there, that was showing the proof of the Hunter Biden laptop. Twitter had blocked it, but I actually got to the I got to the site by going around with the same link by going around Facebook. That was the only good thing left to talk about in this world. You're pretty much right, Josie. Pretty much correct. There isn't much good out there. So I guess it's a good time that he has started updating us again. Because otherwise, I mean, I don't watch anything else anyway. I mean, like I said, I see thumbnails and I see headlines. For the most part, I don't watch it. If something particularly interests me, I'll look at it. Like certain three-letter agencies in the United States government that deal with health getting burned. I like that kind of stuff. Greg F. There's some bad stuff in that laptop. Nasty stuff, and I'm a stoner. I don't know how to take care of myself. Mystery given to Paul to reveal is a good topic as well. For most, Eric, but we have people here that hate Paul. Paul doesn't fit their narrative. But I particularly, if you haven't seen it, the one before this, before the first one I gave, he got into the books that were taken out of the Bible, by who and when. In fact, he called it the King James selection, which I thought was brilliant, because it was originally in there. It was originally in the King James, all the apocryphal books that they took out. And all of this he shows in these last three, how it all culminated around the same time, around the 1400s. And he hasn't even gotten into the evolution lie that culminated around there and other stuff that started coming out around the same time. And I know he's not going to get into it, at least I don't think so. But also at the same time that they brought in all this sun worship and this pagan worship and Christianized, quote unquote, Christianized it, they also brought in the doctrine of hell. 100% pagan. Was never in the church. I'm sorry, it just wasn't. You have to understand your history. When you understand the history and then you believe in hell, you got to go to God with it because something's wrong. It came 100% from paganism. 100%. What if there's a video of Hunter sharing a crack pipe with Zelensky? That might be one of the tamer things in there, Jason. Hello, Mark Harris. Good to see you. He said King James also wrote a book of demonology. Yes! Wasn't that interesting, Mark Harris? But it'll be defended to the end by some. It's just the way it is. Again, once you got that steel iron or that iron gate around your mind about a certain subject and you just can't break through the iron, you're lost in semi-truth at best. Alrighty. I got, thank God, my car is misfiring cylinder 5 according to the code. And I'm hoping to God it's spark plugs, because it could be 5 other things, and some of them are extreme. But some of them are so much that it would be worth more than what my car is worth. So I'm taking it in Monday. It's the earliest I could get Monday appointments. But I did a gig. I actually got paid for a gig. Not much, $65, but I put together an NFT video where there's 2 rows, and everything's different today, guys. I was like, do you want your logo in there? Nope. Okay, you don't want a logo. What do you want it to say at the beginning? Nothing. What about the end? Nothing. Just fade out. Okay. And it's going to be used on social media. It was a 20-some second video. And I got paid $65 for it. That 20-second video, though, took me probably about 4 or 5 hours to do. And now he wants me to cut it in half. I was like, oh, I wish I would have known that earlier. Actually, I want to show you guys the work I do. And I might start doing this because I do enjoy doing it. Let's see, how can I do this? Oh, I know how to do this. Need to switch account to Muscle Fast. Oh, by the way, I don't know if anybody on here is interested, but I'm going to start talking about this too. I'm going to start doing live streams with anybody that wants bodybuilding coaching, and I'm not going to charge anything. So if you're interested in that, if you're interested in getting into bodybuilding or need ideas about diet, different things like that, I'm in my 60s, so I've been doing this since I was a teenager. So I know the different years, what works at different years and different times. It's all the same, really. But a lot of people think, oh, it's too late when you're 60 to look good. No, it's not. Let's see. Just want to show you this because it's these are called NFTs, which are non-fungible tokens, which is the brand new thing that all the kids are into today. Yeah, this is a whole 20 seconds, but I want you guys to see it. Come on, I want you to open, not play. It's you might have to turn down your sound a little bit because it is going to be a little loud. But that's just the way it is with kids today. So let me show you this. I think it's pretty cool. It's 20 seconds. It took hours to do. But I think I'm going to start doing this. I think there's because I like I said, I kind of enjoy doing it. And if it pays, it pays. So here it is. I'll mute my microphone. It's 20 seconds. And that's that. That's like, let me see. It's like 96 different images in 20 seconds. Have those valve seals checked. A broken valve seal took out my whole engine back in November 2020. It jammed up a piston chamber. Thanks for that, Jason, because one of the things that's been happening is it's been burning oil. So that's probably a pretty good guess. Tell him to give me another 65. Ever had a muscle twitch all day long for a week after workout? No, but I know how to solve that. I'm pretty sure how to solve that anyway. That's an indication to me of lack of magnesium. That would be my first guess. So I would supplement with magnesium. But no, I haven't had that for a week. Wow. That must have been irritating. You must have thought you were getting some sort of neurological disorder or something. I would think that. Ignition coil. Well, they'll let me know. How much is an ignition coil to fix? But I appreciate you talking about that. So if anybody's interested in that, it's probably going to be, like I said, it's going to be free, but I'm not going to make it public on my channel. As I've said before, whenever you switch from video to streaming, you kill your channel. You just literally do. As soon as I switched Mr. Thrive and Survive, which has 52,400 subscribers, I'm lucky to get 2,000 or 3,000 to watch a video. And that's all because I started doing streams. And Probably Alexander's YouTube channel. I did. I don't think I'm subscribed in anymore. Or maybe I am. I used to. I definitely used to, Mark Harris. Well, thanks, Just Ask. Mojo Shop, thank you. Very much love all around. Nice comment. Thank you for that. So anyway, that's what I'm going to do. So I don't know when I'm going to do it yet. It's probably going to be about 3 weeks from now, is my guess. So I'll start bringing it up more, and when I know more, I will probably set up a site on my website to where you can sign up for it, because so I can send you an email or a text, whatever. I like the idea of text better than email. That's me. But it'll be by invite only, so it won't be public. It'll be unlisted. But we'll just talk for an hour, hour and a half, something like that, about anything you want to talk about with bodybuilding, supplementation, nutrition, whatever. And I'm going to start doing that anyway. King James also wrote a book of demonology. Yep. Yep, Jacob Law, free. Absolutely free. Free, free, free. And there's a reason why it's free. I will still be selling stuff on my site, but that's if people want to. What I want to get into is I'm going to do direct coaching. So I want people to say, okay, I'm going to hire you for 6 hours over 6 months, or 6 hours over 2 months, or whatever. And they pay for that time, and then we do one-on-one Skype or one-on-one streams with the person individually. Oh, thank you, Jacob Law. Appreciate that. Thank you so much. Kill him dead. YouTube never sent a notification. Try and kill him dead. I'm going to have to ask somebody if this ever works. Try unsubscribing, subscribe again, and hit the notification. Because what happens is YouTube goes through these. They go through so many changes with their algorithms and how they send you the feed. They're constantly changing. You probably noticed at the bottom a lot of videos now, people can put titles in. So if you just want to skip to a certain point, you look at the titles at the bottom. And that messed up YouTube on TV for a little bit. Not long, maybe a day or two. It just was acting weird. And then I guess they updated that and it worked. But they're always doing this crazy stuff where they just, and most of the time they take good things and they take them away. And I don't understand that. But like you used to be able, if you uploaded a video and you made a mistake in the video, you used to be able to go in later. And maybe I saw something. It might actually be back. You could put a caption in or whatever at that spot to correct yourself. And they took that away. And like I said, it might be back. I got to check and see. But there's stuff like that all the time. You used to be able to do a private message to anybody on YouTube. You could send it directly to the channel. They took that away. So I don't understand why they do all that. And like I said, it's usually good features. I don't know why they do it. Just, I was always taught to beware of something that is free. Well, I guess you have to, it depends on the person giving out the whatever it is for free. It is a marketing, it's a marketing reason for doing it. There's no doubt about it. But I'm also of the belief that why would you sign up for me for personal training without even knowing anything about me? So with these different things, oh wow. Anyway, yeah, DCM private messengers, that was like 3 years ago. Yep. So well, Just Ask. I'll tell you what, Just Ask. You come on and I'll charge you. just messing with you. Now I want to see that if they do I want to show people that if they do decide to hire me privately, they're going to get their money's worth. It's not going to be a ripoff or anything like that. And I think the best way to do that is to just expose myself. And like I said, I'll answer any question or whatever that anybody has. Just the my whole thing is a little bit different. I don't have this set box that you have to be in. Well, you have to eat this much protein and this. Now, I do have my preferences. Don't get me wrong. I think there's an ideal thing that you can follow, but the ideal often isn't good for a lot of people. I can say don't eat carbs, but people are just so addicted to carbs. They're like, well, I got to have some. Okay. Or you have to do flat bench pressing when someone might hate flat bench pressing. Okay, there's alternatives. People always try to, in the fitness industry, put you into a box. And what I have found is if you aren't doing the exercises and the eating plan, because I don't even like to use the word diet, because you need to change it for life. It's an eating plan. And if you're not comfortable with it, you won't stick with it. You just won't. This is why people always fall off of diets. Because they're not comfortable with it. Why not make something comfortable, even though it might not be the most efficient way? Why not make it so they can at least stick to it and make slower progress? See, to me, I'm all about the most progress you can make in the smallest amount of time. But I've been doing this since I was 16 and I'm 61. I'm very disciplined now. And I wasn't always very disciplined. So I went through different things that I could do at the time. I did low carb for a while until I got burned out on that. And then I switched to something else. Now I'm all about carnivore, which is basically no carbs or very little. So, and I used to believe you had to switch machines all the time or switch exercises so you could continue to grow. That's all bullcrap. It's actually the opposite. You get good at whatever you do. If you're used to doing bench presses instead of cable crossovers, let's say, you will get good at bench pressing, which makes you get good at bench pressing, which makes you get better and better and better. Whereas then all of a sudden, oh, okay, I got to switch now because my 4 weeks is up benching. I got to go to cable crossovers. Well, your muscles are not used to the change in movement. So it takes weeks for the supporting muscles to catch up. And then when they catch up and you start doing that, and you probably don't like it, let's say, then you might just quit altogether. That's the problem. There are enough variations to where you can get people into fitness, into eating correctly, where it's not a slam. Okay, oh, you eat 6 donuts a day. Okay, you got to go to 0. Okay, why don't we start at 4 and then go to 3 and then 2 and find substitutes that are better. Again, they like to pigeonhole, the fitness industry likes to pigeonhole people into this is what you have to do. And this is the disadvantage of people that are certified personal trainers. You know, they get these big, thick books. I've got one. I started to do it. And I got about halfway through. I'm like, this is bunk. It's so stupid. It gets into, how energy is made with ATP and how the transfer of energy happens. And if you're out of ATP, what happens? What are we going to do? Have a client say, let me explain to you ATP and how energy works intracellular on an intracellular basis. What? They don't care about that. They want to see results. So they're like doctors. They're indoctrinated into the system that gives them the degree, or in this case, the certification of being a personal trainer. And what happens to all these people? 95%, I'd say, of the people they train, once they're done training, you don't see them in the gym anymore, at least not for long, because they're doing stuff that they don't like. They're on a program they can't stick to eating-wise and probably exercise-wise. And they fall, and you know what? Here's a little secret. The gyms know this. That's why they oversell memberships, because they know so many people are going to drop off. A lot are going to drop off. So when you have this January New Year's resolution to get in shape, It's the worst time to go to the gym. Now, this year was different because of COVID, but generally you go to gym in December, it's the best time of the year. Everybody else is Christmas shopping and doing their stuff and eating Christmas dinner and crap. So, and they just got through with Thanksgiving and all the holiday parties in between, and they've gained 30 pounds. And then, well, hey, honey, we got to do a New Year's resolution to lose weight. So they come into the gym, and the gym should only have, I don't know, 200 people at any time, and they sell to where there's 300 or 400 people. And they get away with it. Why? Because by the end of January, about 20% of those people that came for New Year's resolution, they're gone. By the end of February, about 60% are gone. By the end of March, 90+% are gone. In fact, I wanted to pay attention this year. I don't see one person that came in new in January is still there right now, and it's March 21st. 3 months, one season, they're gone. And these people are still paying every month to the gym, even though they're not going. Attached. Well, that sounds good. I like bacon wrapped in around beef patties. It's the best donut. Yeah. And I just got a solution for that attached. I don't know why I didn't think about it. I have inflammation issues, and nitrates in like hot dogs, bacon, stuff like that, cured meats. I'm up half the night with inflammation, with pain. And I figured that out. And but now I can get uncured bacon when I can afford it. I'll get uncured bacon. That's perfect. Yeah. See, I do these things. Your cells are powered by Pepsi and hamburgers. That's right. Just asked 3 months you're gone. At least a while it's losing weight, except for the gyms, right? So here's the deal. If you lose, most people don't realize, you actually get smarter when you lose fat. Seriously, you get smarter the more fat you lose. The leaner you get, the smarter you are. Now, let's just say your brain optimally works at an IQ of 110, and you're 40 pounds overweight. You're probably working at 100 to 105. And if you get most of that weight off, you'll get back up to your previous self. Why? Because so much oxygen and nutrients and blood flow is used to support the extra fat. And so that's less oxygen for the brain. Let me show you something here if I can find a good picture. Come on, show the pictures. Cartoons. Freaking the NASA channel. Oh, what a... I can't find any pictures. Man. It's the same website. Oh, let me see this. They got a video. Hold on. All right, it's not as dramatic as when you break the egg. What I'm going to do is I'm going to share this without the audio, because I'm going to talk to you about what's going on here. I first saw this when I was in biology in high school. Our teacher came in and we had fertilized eggs, and each day he would open a new egg and show the development of the chicken. I had to take the audio off. Sorry. Alrighty. Look at the blood vessels on day 3. Like I said, it's a lot more dramatic when you break the egg. Day 4. Day 5. This is like ounces, not pounds. Look at the blood vessels that are needed to support it. See all the blood vessels? Now the chicken is in the center. You can see that it's moving around. It's obviously alive. But no, humans aren't alive until after the first trimester, right? Look at the blood vessels, how they start growing. This is what happens every time you add an ounce of fat. All the blood vessels that are needed to support it, because your body isn't going to let it die off. And here the blood vessels are taking what's in the outside part of the egg and feeding it to the chicken itself. That's how it's getting its nutrients. And fat on your system needs the same nutrients because the body will not let it die. Look at that for a chicken, major artery starting to form just to supply what is needed. What happened here? Now, when he cracked the egg and splattered it out, so to speak, every day, you could see it was just tremendous amounts of blood vessels. And then he brought out 5 pounds of fat, the representation of it on a human being. And he said, now imagine this 5 pounds, which was about the size of a loaf of bread. He said, imagine the blood vessels that are necessary to support this. Blood vessels before a heart. They're external blood vessels, so I don't know. I don't know with the chicken what comes first. Is it the heart or the blood vessels? Chicken or the egg? I love fat, and so did the Hebrew priests. They knew it was the best parts. There's nothing wrong with eating fat. Contrary to what I'm not a doctor now. I'm not a doctor. Do not take medical advice from me. There's nothing wrong with eating fat. In fact, the more you starve yourself of fat, the more the body wants to hoard it. Starve yourself of water, the body will want to hoard it. Starve yourself of food, the body will want to hoard it. Starve yourself of salt, the body will hoard it as soon as it gets a hold of it. Same thing with fat and cholesterol. Michael B., hello. Just as says vessels come first. So there we have it. But the point I was trying to make is that you literally do lose IQ points the heavier you are. And you have other things, like if you get injured or something, there's less oxygenated blood to get to that area to help repair it because it's got to support the other flesh. The body will not let the flesh die. It doesn't want it to. But since they've lied about everything, eat low fat. Don't eat cholesterol. Don't eat cholesterol. That's the number one thing this works on, the brain. The number one thing, cholesterol. And they've not only have they starved you of it, if it's up to normal levels, and yes, normal, they'll give you statins to cut it down. And what was, I don't know, 4, 5, 6 streams ago, I shared an article where I think I shared it. They did a study. They found out that the lower your LDL is, remember they want you to keep lowering your LDL, lower your LDL. My heart doctor didn't know what to do because everything was fine with me. And she said, and you're not on any medications. That scares me. But everything's normal. So she calls back about an hour later saying, well, your LDL's kind of high. I'm going to send you this medicine. It doesn't work like a statin, and it only works on the LDL. She sent it. I never took one. They have done studies and found that the lower your LDL, remember they want you to have low LDL. Remember they call it the lousy cholesterol, LDL, low density lipoprotein. The lower your LDL, the higher chance you have of dying, period. All mortalities go up. Direct correlation. It's an inverse correlation. Lower your LDL, higher chance you're going to die of something. That's a fact. I wish I could find it. Where did I put that? I don't know. But anyway. That don't go against your doctor's advice. And I know when it was 2017 when I was on, or 2018 when I was on statins because I had 2 heart attacks because I believed the lies. Later, you guys have heard, a lot of you, I found out it was a calcium issue, not a cholesterol issue. But in any case, I was a walking Alzheimer's patient until I got off of it. And it took about 3 or 4 months for my brain to come back. There you go, Mark Harris. The brain is 75% cholesterol. Why do you think they want to cut your cholesterol down? And they keep lowering the numbers. When I was young, long time ago, 250 to 300, you're okay. They got concerned the more you got closer to 300 or over. Now it's 200. Blood pressure used to be 130 over 80. Right? Now it's 120 over 70. Anything above that, you go on high blood pressure medicines. Oh, interesting. It's just crazy. They just want to suck you dry, and they do through taxation, inflation, and big pharma. Even before, isn't the brain fat? That's what cholesterol is. Now let's ask just to make sure. Is cholesterol fat? Cholesterol is a type of fat found in your blood. For information purposes only, consult your doctor for medical advice. This is from kidshealth.org. Don't listen to that. But see, what they do is they tell you, like my grandmother, she had high blood pressure and she had a stroke. And so they told her, you can't have eggs anymore. Well, actually, they allowed her 1 egg a week. 1 egg a week. And I remember every Saturday she was so happy because she could have an egg. It's all 100%. It's all bull. It's all bull crap. Again, whatever you starve your body of, it will hoard. What happens is if you eat an egg, 2 eggs, 3 eggs, whatever, 2 dozen eggs, your permanent cholesterol is not going to change. It's not going to change. This is fact. Temporarily, for about 12 hours or so, until the liver processes it, your blood cholesterol levels are going to be high. This is why you're supposed to go fasted for blood cholesterol. But they assume, they tell me they don't know, they assumed that if you ate cholesterol, that it was going to stay permanently high. They knew. There you go. DCM. I do 2 raw eggs a day, 7 days a week for years now. I know people that do 2 dozen that are really raw a day, that are really into that for bodybuilding. I can't do it. I can do it. I mean, I can eat them. It's just, I just get tired of it. Actually, there's going to be legendary farts, but I love them. And the way, I don't know, it's just, I don't know. It's just, there's something about eggs that, I should eat more. It's like, I mean, I get them. I'll buy like a dozen eggs, and then they stay until they go bad because I just don't ever cook them. It's like I want to, but I don't want to go through the trouble of cooking them. For some reason, I don't know. I do have a thing where I can, probably a lot of you have this thing where you can put like 7 or 8 eggs in there or whatever it is, and you can hard boil them all at the same time. It only takes like 7 minutes or something, all hard boiled, or 10 minutes, whatever it is. But eggs are good for Easter. Gotta have that fertility symbol. There you go, DCM. He knows. Once your system gets used to eggs, the gas part will do away. And please, if you're going to eat eggs, listen to your doctor first, not me. Don't eat egg whites without the yolk. You have no idea what you're doing to yourself. There's a reason why God put the yolk and the white together. Don't separate them. Hard boil about 6 or the whole dozen and eat them all week. Yeah, vintage. I'll do that for a little bit. I got to get back to doing that because eggs are easy protein. It really is. Yep. Now they're finally, the medical community has come around to, eating cholesterol doesn't raise your cholesterol. Really? And it took you, what, 40 years to come to this conclusion? See, I think they finally learned that it doesn't matter if people, I mean, they had to always know that it wasn't going to raise your cholesterol. Different people have different normal levels of cholesterol. Depends on your genetics. Some people are normal at 150. Some people are normal at 400. It's just their genetics. Cholesterol has mainly the function of of repair. You get little micro tears in your vessels and things like that. And instead of letting it bleed to death, it comes and clogs it up and keeps moving on. It doesn't build up. It makes a little scab, and when the scab's no necessary, it detaches and it comes out of your system. What happens is, if you have inflammation in your arteries, combined with calcium, combined with cholesterol, that makes a nice little paste, nice little cement. That's the problem. They don't want you to know that, though. If you know about the cholesterol, if you know about the vitamin K2 solution, I would venture to say, this is my guess. Again, I'm not a doctor. I'm a meteorologist. Heart disease would drop by half, maybe even more, if people knew the K2 solution. You like eggland and not carnival eggs? What's carnival eggs? Or cannibal? I'm not sure what the difference is there. You mean Eggland brand? Mark Harris, eat 4 or 5 eggs and 4 pieces of buttered bread toast every other day for breakfast. I would love to be able to eat toast like that. Doing it for years. Just warm the yolk, but cook the whites if you're eating the whites, is what I do. Oh, that's interesting. That is interesting. I like that. But yeah, you get a severe deficiency when you don't eat enough yolks with the whites. It's a vitamin B deficiency. And the yolk is rich in vitamin B. It's just. So when you go and get these egg white containers, you're actually giving your body a deficiency. And the egg white actually by itself will pull the B vitamins from other parts of your body because it needs it. They don't tell you that on your egg commercials, do they? And what's the trick there, Eric? There's a trick for hard boiled. Put the eggs in the water while it's almost boiling. Now, is that so you can? My issue is how can these, like, you go to a restaurant or whatever where they have hard boiled eggs? It's so easy to peel the shell off. Man, mine stick. Is that because I'm putting the eggs in too early, Eric? Cover 12 to 15 minutes. And I heard it was throw it in cold water right afterwards, but that didn't seem to do anything. There you go. Sunny side up. Love sunny side up. Oh, Eggland eggs are vegetarian fed chickens, and other eggs feed chickens chicken too. Oh. Good to know, Vintage. Yeah, that's. There you go, Deborah. Thank you. Eggs have B, D, A, E, and K2. K2. See a pattern? K2 is what stops the cholesterol from clogging the arteries because it removes the calcium. So why would you tell people not to eat the yolk when you're missing K2? You're more likely, in that case, just using simple logic. This is just my thinking. Again, I'm not a doctor. Don't listen to me. Maybe you'd have more heart disease and more people paying for hospitalizations and stuff like that. They bleed you dry. Put them in cold with ice. Thank you, Deborah. Never thought about that with ice. Good tip. Thank you. Eric says also the shells will peel easier when you get eggs in hot water than boil. Good to know. So you never know what we're going to talk on this channel, right? We're exploring that. We're not exploring flat earth. We're exploring eggs. You got it, Vintage. The yolks have all the vitamins. The whites are not that good for you. The whites do have protein. They have the majority of the protein. But the fat, which is good stuff, and the vitamins are all in the yolk. Just ask. Interesting. I like the philosophical questions. How come the water didn't stick to your tennis ball that's spinning? Just ask. It sticks to the earth. Anyway, does anyone else think we're not supposed to be here? All the animals we know don't have to cook, prepare their food, but we have to. Actually, just ask. We don't have to. There's a lot of people that eat raw only. Raw meat, raw chicken, not raw chicken, raw beef. And I think under the right circumstances, you could probably eat raw chicken. I don't know. Definitely don't do that. Whether I'm a doctor or not, I wouldn't do it. Beef, yeah, I know people that eat raw hamburger all the time. I can't do it. It's just not my taste. I don't care what little extra, whatever you're going to get out of it. It's not worth it to me. It goes back to what I was talking about before. If it's not something you like, you won't sustain it. You just won't. I have to have certain variety. Like I like eating carnivore. I do. But I know it sounds crazy, but it gets old eating steak and hamburger and stuff like that. It just gets old. So you have to have some variety. I don't care what it is. If you eat the same stuff all the time, like Israel in the manna, right? You're gonna get tired of it. Human beings love variety. God loves variety. All you have to do is look at nature. God loves variety. We don't just have pink flowers, right? We don't just have one type of grass, one type of tree, one kind of cloud in the sky. Everything is variety. And so why should we be different and say, oh, you can only eat this? And again, this is putting it as bluntly as you can get. If you've got excess body fat, 99% probability that is from plants, plant source foods. Sugar is a plant source food. Wheat is a plant source food. The less plants you eat, the less chance you will have of storing fat. The more fat you eat and protein you eat without the plants, your body will start shedding fat faster than you ever thought possible. In fact, I get to the point when I'm trying to bulk a little bit, it is so hard. I'm up to 3,800 to 4,000 calories on workout days. That's my AMR, active metabolic rate. I need 3,800 to 4,000 calories just to maintain or slightly gain, maybe half a pound a week. Now, on non-workout days, I've got a big spread. I'm down to about 2,200 to maintain. Why that is, I know how to shorten that span a little bit, but it is actually a fish liver. Yuck. I don't like any livers. That was another thing. What is cod liver? Yeah, what is cod liver? Something I won't eat. Someone was trying to get me into eating liver every day. I can't do it. What is cod liver? Cod liver oil is a nutrient-dense oil made from the livers of several species of the cod fish. Yes, it is. No wonder it's gross. Some people have to limit their diet due to allergies or intolerances. Absolutely. I've got a nephew who even smelling peanuts can die. That's how allergic he is to peanuts. He was on a plane once. You have to wear a mask, right? Still on a plane. And but the air circulates. Whatever's in there is circulating. So it doesn't matter what kind of mask you have on. If somebody's got something, they got a cold up front, you got a chance of getting that cold because that air is going to circulate to the back and to the middle part, all over. But in any case, he was on a plane once. Someone in the back opened some peanuts up, and my sister had to give him the shot so that he didn't go into shock. And then they had to collect all the peanuts on the plane. That's how bad he is to it. Sissy, my sister suddenly became allergic to peanut butter. Suddenly. Did your sister recently get vaccinated with something, Sissy May? Yeah, vintage. It does sound gross, doesn't it? Cod liver oil. Ugh. And they used to give that to kids, remember? If they were constipated or something. It was like, oh. All they had to do was give magnesium. Magnesium is a good solution to that. You have dairy intolerance. Yeah, exactly. Vintage. How many livers it takes to get all those livers? Probably half of it's fake. Tess, you heard they use peanut oil in vax. You know, they might. I remember a long time ago. Oh, man, I was in my 20s. My doctor had to give me a shot. And she said, it's not going to be pleasant because it's in oil. And she said it's in peanut oil. I don't know what it was. I don't even remember. But she said it's thick, and so she had to use a big needle because it was in peanut oil. Maybe the regular flu shot 2-3 years ago. That would be my theory, Sissy May. That would be my theory. If you suddenly develop something, that means something to me from the outside artificially got into you and changed something. Good cholesterol is not water soluble. Bad cholesterol is solvent needed to process the good kind. Oh, but never mind. You have to lower your LDL. You have to lower it. Oh, where did I save that? It's a very nice article. Oh, you know what? I might have taken a screenshot of it. Let me check. This won't take long because it wasn't that long ago, I don't think. But I need to read you that if I can find it because it's a legit study by the so-called legit people. It's like after a while you can't hide this crap anymore. Man, I hope my car isn't expensive. After having $1,500 worth of surprise dental work, and of course Charlie has been very expensive with the vet and everything. Nope, I don't have a screenshot of it. Darn. I'll have to get that one day so you guys can, so I can read it to you guys. In fact, let me do a real quick search. Let's see if it pops up. I bet it doesn't come up in Google. Let me see. Oh, did you hear DuckDuckGo is starting to censor people, guys? DuckDuckGo. I can't remember who it was, but here we go. Yeah, come on up with it. Association. Oh, I accept your cookies. Did they make a law where they have to tell you that you have to accept cookies? They must have, because all of a sudden it's everywhere. So I want to share this so people don't think I'm making it up, because people will write me, hey, you didn't give a source. It's not true. You didn't give a source. Yeah, I just sit here and make crap up just for the fun of it. This is from www.bmj.com. I don't know what that stands for. The BMJ. COVID-19 and then research, education, intended for healthcare professionals. Abstract. To determine the association between levels of low-density lipoprotein cholesterol, LDL-C, and all-cause mortality, and the concentration of LDL-C associated with the lowest risk of all-cause mortality in the general population. Denmark population, 2013 to 2015, with a follow-up of 9.4 years later. Baseline levels of LDL cholesterol associated with risk of mortality were evaluated on a continuous scale by a priori defined centile categories with Cox proportional hazard regression models. Main outcome was all-cause mortality. Secondary outcomes were cause-specific mortality, cardiovascular cancer, and other mortality. Results. Among 108, I don't know why it says 108 and then 243 unless it's missing a comma there. So many individuals, who knows? Aged 20 to 100. That's a pretty good spread. 10.5% died during the study at a median age of 81. That's not bad. A lot of them must have been the elite. The association between levels of LDL-C and the risk of all-cause mortality was U-shaped, with low and high levels associated with an increased risk of all-cause mortality. Associated with an increased risk of all-cause mortality. That's right. Low and high levels associated with increased risk of all-cause mortality. Now, this is not the study I saw. The study I saw, when is this? February 2021. It said that the LDL was the worst, having low LDL. See if I can find another one. Jeez. Now, are you seeing this? Let me find out. Yeah, good. Sorry I didn't have that larger, guys. Association between low-density lipoprotein, cholesterol, and all-cause mortality. Is this the same one, November 2021? The adjusted model suggests that people with the lowest level of LDL-C had 1.6%, 95% times the odds compared to the reference group. You had a 1.6 times better chance of dying if you had the lowest levels of LDL cholesterol. And that's what they're trying to get out of you. They're trying to make you have the lowest levels of LDL cholesterol. Can you see how the Georgia Guidestones might lead to some of these decisions? At least the idea behind it. 1.6 times greater chance of dying the people that had the lowest level of LDL-C. And they adjust it for age, sex, race, mental station, education level, smoking status, body mass index, which is another lie. I am morbidly obese, according to the BMI, guys. And I have six-pack abs. 95% confidence. Here's another one. I get 1.373 times compared to the reference group. Anyway, it's still not the one I read, but again, if you look at everything, that 95% of what we're told is a lie, it's no wonder we have so much chronic disease, pain, inflammation, people in the hospital, people needing full-time care. It's a miracle any of us really survive. Vintage, you eat organic turkey liver. You know that the turkey and chicken livers and all that, they're not bad, actually. Have you ever had, the same kind of stuff as in hearts? Like chicken heart, if it's cooked right, it's pretty good. Have I ever looked into negative parallax? No, I have not. Negative parallax. So that would be, I would imagine, your what's in the distance doesn't change, but what is in the foreground does? I don't know. Send me some stuff after stream. Cool. Never heard of it, actually. So I don't even know what it is. Don't know. What do you mean you don't know? How can you be a flat earther and not know about negative parallax? Cool, Alan. I'll look at it. Thank you. Is it against federal law to not wear a mask on a plane? Absolutely, until at least April 18th, and I hope they get rid of it then. Biden just, what a freaking moron. He just extended it for aircraft. So when you see Biden they open the door in Air Force One, there's Biden with a stupid mask on. He takes it off, goes down and hugs people and shakes their hands, whatever. Nobody's got a mask, including him. Makes no sense whatsoever. None. And it was supposed to expire this month on the 18th, but he extended it to April 18th. Yet he's dropped it at other places. Like you'll notice the White House press corps, they no longer have masks on. They dropped it. And I haven't been to the VA recently, but I'll bet you, well, they're kind of stupid, but I bet you it's not a requirement anymore. But for whatever reason, it still is on a plane. Tom says, United States highest VED population. Thanks for putting it that way. Also sickest population. Yeah, what a correlation. And I bet you we run to the doctor more than any other group of people on the earth. What's my email? Thrive. I'll type it here. Thrive. And I don't check it often, so just to let you know, Alan. Thrive at musclefast.net. So there it is. Even before it says if the UK can get by paying, if the UK can get by paying out, the US insurance companies will jump to not pay also. Not sure what you're saying there. I do know something about the socialized medicine over there. A friend of mine who lives in the UK, he tore his Achilles tendon in his ankle, and he went to the doctor, And they said, they're too busy, come back tomorrow. So he came back the next day, and they said they're too busy to see him that day, come back the day after. By the time they saw him, they examined him and said, it's too late, there's nothing we can do now. So he's screwed up for the rest of his life unless he gets an operation. That's socialized medicine for you. Thank you, Alan. Appreciate it. Okay, read the previous comments. Oh, life insurance in the UK denied payment of benefits due to the person died from adverse. Oh, I know about this story. I think yes, experimental drug use. That's yes. I don't know about the UK, but the same thing happened in the United States. That's my understanding, anyway. Judge in the case agreed, no payment made because it's deemed experimental. Yes. What a surprise. What a surprise. Everybody's protected but you. Everybody's protected but you. And you're the target. You're the consumer, right? You're the target. Just ask your okay, yeah. Yeah, it's the NHS for you. Yeah. People here think it's they keep wanting to just ask. They want what do they call it? Medicare for all. See, Medicare is the system they have here for when you're retired, generally. And what they don't understand, these people that think it's free healthcare, it's not free. You pay a monthly premium, and there's so much paperwork and red tape surrounding it that if you added everybody on the system into it, it would collapse in days, if weeks, if not days. It literally would collapse upon itself. It's inefficient, costly, and it's just now. It would sort of make sense if you still paid the private doctors the way you do now, but you'd have to go to constitutional money where you're not borrowing it from the Federal Reserve. You can just print it and pay it that way. That would make more sense, but we're not on that system. We're on we're under the Federal Reserve Act of 1913. Anyone with any sense doesn't use the NHS. We have to pay taxes for a proxy NHS. Yeah, and nothing's free. They think it's free. They think everything is free. The vaccines are free. Really? Really? They're free? Didn't go into the budget. We're not going to be taxed for it. Nothing is free. Nothing is free. Here's some straight out of our wages. Yeah. That's what happens here. It comes straight out of the wages. And it comes out of other things too. Federal excise tax, stuff that people don't even realize. Like your phone bill is higher than it should be because of federal excise taxes. Your gasoline bill is higher, not only because of state taxes, but because of federal excise taxes. There's so many piggyback taxes, one on top of the other, and people don't even know it. Get your cell phone bill out and really pay attention next time. Go down and look at all the taxes. State, city, local, municipality, federal. And then each one of those will have different excise taxes on it. Again, I think it was 2016. Somebody made a big deal finally out of why are we still paying on a cell phone now? And of course, just about everybody's got cell phones. Why are we have a tax? We had a tax on cell phones to pay for the Spanish-American War. Let's find out, when did the Spanish-American War end? When did the Spanish-American War end? April 21st, 1898. And in the 21st century, we're still paying taxes to pay for it. Stanley, lack of magnesium, potassium, potassium. Did I scroll way back? I'm lost, Stanley. Is this the muscle twitch thing? Potassium too. That would be my second guess. I agree. Never mind. I'm not going to show that comment though. Again, we're in timeout on Mr. Thrive and Survive until Friday, I believe. Possibly Wednesday, but we'll see. You know what's cool is I have found a way around. When you have a strike, you can't save anything to your playlist. You can't upload. You can't do anything. But the playlist, I like to save stuff to so I can bring it to you guys. But I found a way around it. I'm not going to say how because I don't want YouTube to know, but I found a way around it. So that's why I have these videos that are saved in my playlist when I'm not allowed to do that. But it just dawned on me one day. I was like, oh, I bet you there's a way around this. Let's try this. And it worked. But this is the government that you're supposed to go out and support and vote for in 2022. I just saw a meme of a couple watching a dumpster fire. It says, watching season 2 of Build Back Better. He pointed out in the history of the final history or the lost history of flat Earth, the Build Back Better, like the small bees, there's 6s, 666. He points out a lot of the different places they hide 6s. In the last bill signed, hidden was a new law that the government can now go into denied person's gun permits and investigate that person further. Isn't that sick? We live in a screwed up system. How's Charlie doing? Hope he's well and hope you are well too. Thanks for asking, Stanley. Charlie's not doing well, actually. He's back with my son and daughter-in-law. Although he's better with his pain, he isn't holding his head down like this because his neck was in pain. He's actually upright and stuff like that is okay, but he has relapsed with the neurological thing where it's hard for him to stand, negotiate steps, that type of thing. So he's back there. We're going to try something different. We're going to take him to a doggy chiropractor. And I hope that works because otherwise I'm afraid he has that DM disease, which is a degeneration of the myelin around the nerves. And if he actually has that, which he's got the symptoms, and it's common in German Shepherds, and he's half a German Shepherd. From the time that it's diagnosed, which was about a month ago now, they basically have about 7 or 8 months before you have to put them to sleep because they end up to where they can't breathe. They start having problems with their respiration, and I won't let him go that long. I'm not gonna let him suffer so I can not suffer, if you know what I mean. Try all meat dog diet. All meat dog diet. Oh, Charlie is on just all meat and has been for a long time. Dogs in the wild don't. There are some slight exceptions. Wolves and dogs in the summer or at certain times of year when they don't have prey, they will eat some things that are not meat just for survival. But generally speaking, they're carnivore, period. And again, it's more lies and money to come out of you. Most people don't realize that dog food was a result of shortages of food in World War II. When they were rationing food, all of a sudden they came up with dog food, and it became a big moneymaker. And ever since, it's been there. And they mix meat with very cheap processed carbohydrates, and that's dog food today. And I will not give it to Charlie. I just won't do it. Now, he had it when he was young because I didn't know better. But once I learned, I was like, no, he's not getting this anymore. Again, when I go to the vet, there's a poster on the wall. It said 80% of adult dogs over a certain age have periodontal disease. Do you think it's normal that 80% of dogs, adult dogs, have periodontal disease? No. Periodontal disease is caused by sugars, carbs. And the dogs, they don't brush their teeth. So what happens is the sugar starts eating away at the gums and the teeth line and all that kind of stuff. It's all bull crap. So not only do they torture us, they torture our animals as well. And it's all for money. And the vet, he's like, well, he needs carbs in his diet. Have you tried this? He's showing me the different dog foods that he sells. And I'm like, sorry, no. Charlie's fine. Well, he needs carbs. Like, okay, you can say that until you're blue in the face. It's not true. Tatch says, we think what you're saying, Biden wrapped his own Christmas gifts and he was still surprised Christmas morning. He needs a nap. Oh, that's good. Good rethink. I worked in a factory that made bread, and they sent the breads that hit the floor or got messed up or some other way to a truck that made chicken feed. Again, chickens in the wild, they're going to eat bugs. And they do it too. You know why people get sick eating cows? Because cows are supposed to eat grass. And that's too expensive. So what they do is they force the cows to get on corn. And the cows will not eat corn. So they have to literally put a tube in their mouth and shove it down their throat until they get used to it. Corn. Because it's cheap. And then the fat, the meat becomes much fatter, which is what they want because the cows are sold by weight. We live in a sick, screwed up world. And you know who permits all this and is for it? Is the FDA. Your federal government. Give them pasta. Let them eat pasta. Anthony. Wow. We'll pray for you, Anthony. You got evicted and your girlfriend wants to break up. Well, I don't know about the girlfriend, but that could be a good thing in the long run. But oh, sorry about that, Anthony. Man, these things, they just... I get you, Anthony. I'm slammed with everything right now, too. Like, I not only had one tooth, but two teeth, two front teeth. One broke and one came out. All within 5 days. The Charlie thing. Now my car also had other issues, and it still has other issues. Like I need to get 4 new tires because they're dry rotted. So I risk blowing them out. So you get hit with all these things at once. Thank God I'm healthy. Yeah, soybeans too. Yep, vintage, you got it. Whatever's cheap. And soybeans, they don't just do it with the cows. Do yourself a favor. First of all, nobody should be eating soy in this country. I'm sorry, but you shouldn't. Why? Because it's GMO'd. Men shouldn't have it any. You shouldn't have plants anyway, but that's too broad for most people. Soy is particularly bad. They've GMO'd it and it have made it super, super cheap. And it's so GMO'd that it produces what's called phytoestrogens, which the body cannot handle. It doesn't know how to handle it. So it screws up your hormones. And they feed it to the animals. And they also feed it to you when you don't even realize you're getting it. Go down the aisle where they have mayonnaise and condiments and stuff, and look at salad dressings, mayonnaise, even ones that say made from, don't get anything ever from canola oil. There's no such thing as a canola. That's Canadian oil, I believe. Canola. Could be wrong, but look at like it'll say on the mayonnaise, made from olive oil. Oh, okay, that's better. And then you turn it around and read, there's the soy. They just put some olive oil in it and put it on the label. That's Jacob for you. It's like I got 2 corned beefs on because they always have it on sale around St. Patrick's Day, and I love corned beef. In fact, I should throw another one out and cook it. The corned beef is always in a package where it's clear on one side, but it's got the label in plastic, totally covering the other side. It's like they used to do with bacon before they had the little peek things you could peek and see the back of the bacon. Guess what side just so happens to always have the most fat on it? It's the side you can't see. Is it by accident that 100% of the time the side you can't see is much fatter than the other side? No, that's Jacob for you. That's deception. Yep, vintage soy and corn is in just about everything. So you just look at different things that you wouldn't think would have soy. Some ketchup has it. Oh, and high fructose corn syrup. Thank you, FDA. Most other countries have banned high fructose corn syrup. Maybe because they're not, they don't make their decisions based on money coming into the organization. Food and Drug Administration. Screw up the food, and they'll pay you to do it because they want to push their cheap crap and make more money off of it. And then you have Big Pharma on the other side, the drug part of the FDA. Screw up people's food, they're going to need drugs. It's perfect. And guess who? And the people in the government, they're in the middle, just the middleman, exchanging the money. Oh, here's 100,000 for this to approve this. Okay, let me slide 10,000 off in my pocket and give it over here to this department. It's the way it works. Just as says UK corned beef is not the same as yours. Well, that I don't doubt. I bet it's probably better. Even Russia's banned the Roundup chemical glyphosate. Yeah, what they did here is they finally lost a lawsuit, right? Roundup, and to where you could sue them because they said, yeah, it causes cancer. Why did it take so long to determine it caused cancer? That's one question. Why did it take decades and people fighting and losing in court because there's no proof? Now there is. So your FDA is Johnny on the spot. They banned it, of course. No. Nope. And it's not just the people using it. Once they spray it and it gets in the air, you can inhale it. They air spray that chemical on the crops. Then you eat the crop. But it's all going to be fixed in 2022 when you get America Firsters in there. And you know what I heard today? Here it comes, the hopium. Oh, what's going to happen is Hunter Biden's going to be indicted, which he might. He's low-hanging fruit. Just watch it. We'll never get up to Joe Biden. Somehow. You can't indict one without the other. Knowing what we know with what's on there, direct implication, both of them. Direct. Remember the whistleblower that came on Fox News? Can't remember his name. He actually was at a meeting coordinated with Joe Biden and Hunter Biden at the same time. And they're talking about how to get the money to him. There's no way to separate it. But it'll be separated. If they even charge Hunter Biden. Now, I'd say that's a 50-50 chance. 50-50. The chance of Joe Biden getting indicted? 0. -1%. 0. Ain't going to happen. Oh, but they're saying here comes the hoping. Once the Republicans take over the House and the Senate, they will impeach Joe Biden. I mean, they're going to vote to impeach him, and then it'll fall 1 or 2 votes shy. Watch. There you go, Just Ask. There's the chance. Just Ask got it. There's the chance. It's like they indicted, the big thing was Huber. Or was it Huber? No, Durham. I don't know where Huber's probably in the Bahamas, laying on the beach. He probably bought a property on the ocean right next to Obama, waiting for the ocean to rise and wipe him out. Sorry, something went through my mind that I can't say. But anyway, when they indicted this guy, whoever it was, the lawyer for the law firm that Hillary Clinton hired to perpetrate the Russian hoax and all that stuff, and everybody was like, oh, this is low-hanging fruit. Just wait till they get to Hillary next. It was like, okay, let's wait and wait and wait. Don't hold your breath, guys, because you'll all be dead by the next stream. Hillary Clinton is not getting indicted. Ain't going to happen. Not in my lifetime. She'll outlive me, I'm sure. She's an elite. Stanley says the food truck that used to come to my work during breaks, lunch, they sold bottles of Coca-Cola from Mexico. Yes, we have that all the time here in Stanley in Arizona. That were made with real sugar versus high fructose corn syrup. Huge difference in taste. Yes, that's the way Coke used to taste before the 1980s when they switched it to high fructose corn syrup. Yes. Except they did the little steps. You know, I should go back and look at that to see if they did it, because it would be logical. They had Coke as sugar, with sugar, sweetened with sugar. Then they had New Coke, probably still sugar. And then we had Coca-Cola Classic. They switched you back. I bet you that's when they went to high fructose corn syrup. Rich Biden is scheduled to be arrested at the 23-year Delta, which will make him, what is he, 77? Make him 101 years old. Again, he'll probably live to that age. He won't remember anything. In another year, he won't even remember waking up. I called Coca-Cola one time to inquire about the corn-free one and where to find it, and they acted I was a spy trying to get the recipe. Well, we have Mexican Cokes here. You can get them a lot of places. You can buy them at the grocery store, whatever. And I don't drink Coke hardly ever, but when I do, it's a Mexican Coke. It's just unbelievable difference in taste. So much better. Stanley knows. Coke in my country, New Zealand, still made with real sugar. It has to, because your country banned it. Like 90% of countries did. One day, a restaurant somehow gave me an American Coke, and I noticed it straight away tastes worse. Yeah. I'll bet you New Zealand banned it. Most places have, because they actually care some about their people. Here they don't care. It's whoever pays the most. Oh, high fructose corn, you develop this more addictive, sweeter than sugar additive that's actually addictive. Oh, okay, we'll approve it. How much? Well, no, we can't. Think about it. It's a chemical. Dollars falling, piling up. Yeah, I think we can approve it now. Coke 2, the same as New Coke. Oh, God, it's gross stuff, wasn't it, Stanley? Like I said, it was, I heard a comedian say one time that Coke forced you to try Pepsi. Pepsi was better, though. God, New Coke was crap. And for a while, that's all you could get, remember? You couldn't get any other kind. That's what I find, because they freak out on you. Yeah, here in the desert Southwest, vintage, we get it. I guess it's because we have so many Mexican Americans. And some people are waking up to it. I've talked to the cashier. They'll sometimes say, "Oh yeah, I like this Coke because it doesn't have the fake sugar in it, the chemicals." Like, yeah, you got it. Attached says HFCS, which is high fructose corn syrup, and MSG are brothers of the same evil brood. Yeah, I agree. Yep. Never mind, your bodies were so amazingly designed that they can put up with all this junk. Yep. Even with all this, but for a while, for a season, and then in our older age, we start breaking down. Yeah, you got it. Never mind. At least for a while. Vintage. I think it tasted like Pepsi. Yeah, Pepsi always tasted like sugar water to me. It made my stomach hurt too. Don't you hate it when you go into a restaurant and you're like, "What do you want?" And you tell them a Coke product. And they're like, "We only have Pepsi." It's like, No. No. RC. RC Cola. I remember that. How about, you ready for this one? We talked about this a long time ago. Tab. Oh my God. Battery acid had to be better than Tab. Good night, Just Ask. Thanks for joining us. My bed's calling me too. I'm going to be signing off here rather soon, I think. Yeah, Tab. My grandmother used to get that. She never had a problem with the grandchildren wanting to drink her Tabs. Only once. I was like, the hell is that? Knee high. Oh, I forgot about that. Super sugary chocolate, right? Yeah, Tab equals nasty. Yes. Clear Tab. I don't even remember Clear Tab. In the 90s, I was long by ever. Oh yeah. I think I do remember that Rich Flat. I never tried it, of course, but I think I do remember. It was sort of like they were trying to rebrand it before it went out of business. How could? Oh yeah, Crystal Pepsi, which is probably better because they don't have the fake coloring in it. You know, probably half the stuff that we drink and eat, we wouldn't drink or eat it if it didn't have the food coloring you put in it because it would look so nasty. My understanding, a lot of stuff would actually look gray. A lot of drinks, they'd actually be gray looking. And I get it. Yeah, you want it to at least look appealing, but it's like I have a protein powder, and which is a good one because they instead of like the other protein powder, it's strawberry. And what they'll do is they put red dye number 42 or whatever in there to make it look red, at least a little bit. It's not much of a color, but the one I have, it uses beetroot powder, which is good anyway. It's good for a pump. It's very healthy for you. And they use that for the coloring. But I'm sure it's a little bit more expensive, so you can't do that. Vintage, we call them pop here. Yep. You're part of the country, pop. Yeah, red dye, number whatever. That's another thing, FDA. Half of these red dyes have been shown to cause all kind of diseases. Oh, we accept it. If you think the FDA is looking out for you, ooh, sweet father, they're looking out for them. They're looking out for the food and drug companies, Food and Drug Administration. ICB root beer was my last setter to go. Hey, has anybody, ICB root beer, yep. Has anybody heard of Stewart's? Stewart's root beer? And I actually had the Stewart stand, root beer stand. And you would drive up to it and you could get, they would come to the car. It was like the 1950s curb service. And they had these chili dogs that were unbelievably awesome. Chili burgers. Soda water. Yeah. What is it in the 50s? What did they, you see it in shows like Back to the Future or whatever, or It's a Wonderful Life. When they go in, they get a malt, right? It was a malt, which was like, I guess it was sort of like a float where you had ice cream. And I don't know if it was just seltzer water, if it was actually something like Coca-Cola. I don't know. Never really looked into it. He took red dye out of rat poison because it was toxic. Hey, Bonnie, how are you? Stewart's, yes. Oh my God. I can almost taste it. It was so delicious. If there was a Stewart's near me, I wouldn't have a 6-pack probably. Oh, it was so good. The hot dogs, man. And the root beers. Oh, the root beer floats. Wow. Incredible food. New Jersey, they have them. You know, I was just thinking, I wonder if the one in Baltimore is still there. I bet it's not. I bet it's not. Anthony, you mean black and white? Black and white. Cheer wine in North. I've never even heard of that. Cheer wine in North Carolina. Food dye is carcinogenic, isn't it? Some are, Sissy May. Probably more than we know. Not all. Red in particular seems to be a bad one. Red and I think green. Killing Dead, I will say the food and root beer at A&D A&W. Yeah, Fast Plus is also so good. Yeah. Yeah, I come across those every now and then when I'm traveling, like on a major highway. Like, oh, there's an A&W. Root beer is it's a weakness of mine, and I will eat the chemical with that one. I'll get the. Is it a Coke product or Pepsi? I think it's a Coke product. A&W Diet Root Beer or A&W Zero, they call it. I'm kind of hooked on the zeros. Vintage never liked root beer, and you're American. Everybody's got their own taste. But Coke, I like Coke Zero. I actually like that more than the regular Coke. And I know it's chemicals. Like each of us has our own weaknesses. Oh, red velvet cheesecake, Sissy made. That's the reason I quit making homemade red velvet cheesecakes. What was the reason? Oh, the dye. Yeah, Sissy May. It probably would look gray without it or something. But it would taste the same. Might even taste better. Never mind, some natural red dye is made out of insects. Thanks, but no thanks. Yeah. Oh, vintage cherry Coke. Yeah, every now and then I'm into cherry Coke. Now and then. Yep, root beer floats with vanilla ice cream are amazing. I'll make it every now and then on a cheat day. Didn't want to be a racist. Black and white. What was a black and white? Was that a Coke and a oh, no, that was chocolate syrup in milk and vanilla ice cream, I think. Chili dogs at A. You know what? I don't know if I've ever tried a chili dog at A&W. Maybe I should. Should I, Fred? Yeah, I agree with you, Rich Flat. ICB root beer, it's awesome. But it's the stuff they allow in. It's like I'm convinced smoking cigarettes doesn't cause lung cancer. It's the chemicals they put in the paper that wraps around, and I'm sure that's on the now. It's on the plants themselves, the tobacco itself. Not that inhaling hot smoke is good for your lungs. I'm not saying that, but I think it's the chemicals that are sprayed on it, the paper, and on the leaf itself that causes cancer. And remember, talk about Congress. Congress can fix everything, right? They had hearings. Oh, that's the other thing. They're going to investigate. Once the Republicans get in, they're going to investigate Joe Biden. So freaking what? So freaking what? Remember all the investigations that Lindsey Graham did, and all the ones he said he was going to do and didn't. And how about Jim Jordan? He's hammering Hillary. Yeah, but nothing ever comes of it, does it? And you know what's stupid about a congressional investigation? Generally, if you don't lie to Congress, they really have no power to do anything. They don't have power to indict you. They have to hope that an attorney general decides to indict based on evidence that comes up in Congress, but they never do. They never do. But our system can be fixed in the next election. Indians have been smoking tobacco for ages. Do they have lung cancer? I don't know. But I bet you that's the problem. Now I can see emphysema coming from smoking anything. I mean, your lungs aren't made to inhale hot smoke. It burns the villi in the which are the little feathery like kind of things in the lungs. It burns it destroys them. In fact, if it gets down to where those villi start bursting, that's emphysema. Pirate's Keg root beer. Never even heard of that, Stanley. I'll look out for that. Ginger ale. I'm not a big ginger ale person, Michael. Once in a great while, I can drink a little. It just never was my thing. There's a drink that with ginger ale I kind of liked once. Some alcohol was mixed with it. I think back in the Navy days. I have no idea what it was. Indians use pipes, not paper. Yeah, that helps. And I'm sure they're not out there with Roundup spraying the tobacco leaves. Canada Dry ginger ale. South American natives also chewed on coke leaves to prevent cavities. You know, again, cavities were not ideal at all until sugar was introduced to Western diets or to anybody's diet. Gin and tonic is nice. Never tried it attached. Definitely have heard of it. Never tried it. I haven't tried many drinks. I won't try anything that's got bourbon in it or whiskey, whatever. I don't even know the difference between the two. But all I know is Jack Daniels is supposed to be one of the best, and that is the most gross stuff I think I've ever tried to drink in my life. And I had it super, 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 super diluted with a lot of Coke, like almost that much Coke with just the bottom part here with a little bit of whiskey in it. It was disgusting. I gave it to my brother. Said, "You like this?" He's like, "Yeah." I was like, "Here." Chris says the Republic is lost. Wake up and realize that. Get right with family, most of all God. Amen to that. The Republic is lost. That's why this channel used to be called Wake the Republic, but you can't wake something that's cancerous down to the root. It's too late. There comes a point where you have to say, okay, we have to go to hospice with the system and kill it off or let it die off. We actually have to kill it off. And did you hear that Stanley loves bourbon? Well, if I ever get any, Stanley, I'll be glad to send it to you. Gin and tonic with a squeeze of lime. I'll have to try it. It sounds like it would be okay. Okay. My thing, I've been into vodkas. I like vodka, like screwdrivers and fuzzy navels and whatever. Anything with vodka in it, I've generally liked. There you go. Rolos needs some prayers, guys. You got it, Rolos. You're in mine tonight. It's been a rough year and could use some prayers from y'all. And that's not good because it's not, unless you're talking about 12 months, because it's only March. Today is Charlie's birthday, and it's my grandfather's birthday, the only man in my life who was worth anything. And it's also Johann Sebastian Bach's birthday, which I didn't realize they all three coincided until this year. Oh, Long Island iced tea. Yes, if it's made right. Oh, yeah. But it will slam you. There you go. Bonnie's on board for prayers, Rolos. Got a shot of Southern Comfort today. Ooh, boy. If we ever get together, Stanley, we'll have to come up with some interesting drinks. Anthony hasn't had a drink in a year. I had my first drink in probably a year, maybe a year and a half. About 3 or 4 weeks ago, a bunch of older guys who were in the military. They invited me to. They're generally older than me. They're in their 70s, and they invited me to join them at a restaurant, and I did. And I had one beer, and that's the first beer, and that's generally the only alcohol I generally have. Probably a year and a half. Should I tell my doctor? Because I always say I don't drink. It's so rare. Why? It's none of their business anyway. Haven't had a drink since I left my house to come to your office, Doc. I don't drink. Tito's vodka. It's made in Austin, Texas. Never heard of it. Tito's. Is it good? I guess it is, Justin. That's another thing. I never know what vodka is good. I'm just not into drinking that much. Oh, tomorrow's 3/22. I wonder how they will celebrate. Did you notice I made a prediction last week? Let's see where I have no idea where it ended. I know it was down for a little bit today. That the stock market would dive pretty deeply this week. It was down 201 points, which is not bad today. It was down, looks like at 350 points at one point. Let me see what, yeah, it's getting ready to go. Woo! Down she goes. They're doing it all to us all at once. 322, boom, we coming. Drip, 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 the flood. Sometime out west, we'll have to meet up. Rich, definitely, Stanley, definitely. I'm never back. Well, I will be on the East Coast, but not where you are. I'm going to be in North Carolina end of April, hopefully without having to wear a mask on the plane. Stupid Biden. Let's see. What are the cases keep dropping? Why are we doing this? 2 years later. Oh my. I got to show you this chart. Because if I talk about it without it, I might get a strike anyway. If I get a strike and taken down, then Friday I'll be back on Mr. Thrive and Survive. How's that? Here we go. These are COVID cases. Oh, look at this spike. Oh, now that we had a 7-day average of 802,191. I mean, you can't do this for very long. You hit the whole population. I mean, this has been going on for 2 years. Now we are at 29,000 in the whole country. Only 7,844 are new, and we have to wear masks. We have 350 million population, supposedly, so we're told. And we have 7,800 new cases out of 350 million. See, where were we back here? We never did get that. Or once we got that low. Oh, here's March 10th of 2020. 119 new cases. And this was during the, what was it? Let me think. Yeah. 15 days to flatten the curve. Remember that? Here we go. From this date on. 702 cases. And we shut down the damn country. Then it became 30 days, remember? And then the governor started doing it, right? Right in here, September. That's when our governor started doing it. No, actually, he started doing it back here. So he shut everything down, right? Then look what happened to the cases. And most of other places did too. The cases went up. There's an interesting correlation if you can find you can't find charts to show the number of cases and when they implemented certain things. It's ridiculous. It's you see a lot of this right here. Masks required starting now. And then you have this. Masks not required. Then it goes down. Masks required again. And you have this. It's amazing. Let's see what's happening in Arizona. 11,702 cases, March 7th to 20th. Well, how can we have 11,000 in Arizona, but there's only new 7,844 cases nationwide? This is nationwide, isn't it? United States, all regions, new cases. I don't understand that. Oh, I get it. The smaller the dot, the less you have. Now, look, the places they've cracked down the most, like Michigan, they got the biggest numbers. 12,000. Washington State, 15,000. Nevada, they eased up on everything, 2,708. California, the worst freaking place in the whole world, probably, 61,138. Liberal Pennsylvania, I know I live there, 11,000. Arizona again, 11,000. New York, come on, 26,630 some cases. Florida, probably the least restrictive in the whole country. Big population, way more population than here, like double, 17,783. Europe. Ha, ha, ha. Look at the bubble. 804,000 in the Netherlands? Okay. Okay, I believe that. I have no choice to believe it. It's true. You can't question it. It's true. What is the population of the Netherlands? 17 million, and they got 800,000, almost a million. So 1/17 of the population has it. Yeah, that's true. Louisiana? Let me see. Louisiana. What did you do during the Great War? Well, I shoveled Shiite in Louisiana. You know where that comes from? Louisiana has 2,953 cases. What they should have here is per population, they should have a percentage or whatever. In California, it's it's apocalyptic. Oh, why can't I say that word? In California, it's apocalyptic. People are, I'm still alive. A lot of my neighbors have dropped dead. No, they haven't, actually. But in this neighborhood where it's all old people, and 3 times they shut stuff down in my neighborhood, which is a retirement community, because COVID was so rampant in the community. What it was, they wanted to save money by not having to heat the pool and the hot tubs and stuff like that. That's what it was. And then come to find out of all this time, and there's people here that are like 80, 90 years old. I mean, the average age here has got to be in the 70s. One person supposedly died of COVID, and then I inquired. They died with COVID. They had so many things wrong with them, I'm surprised they could even make out that they had COVID. Yeah, I just saw that. Never mind. CDC just dropped the number of related deaths among young people by 24% due to some coding error. Nothing like getting it right. Yep, liberal PA. Oh, and I've seen stuff on Dr. Steve Turley. PA is turning red. It was like, even the red people in that ran in Pennsylvania weren't red. Like Jim Tomey. Oh my God, neocon of neocons. What an embarrassment. He was as bad as, almost as bad, not quite, almost as bad as Arizona's finest. Remember, we had 2 of them. We had John McCain, and we had, who was that other joker? He actually got, he was so bad, I think the Republicans told him, do not run again. Stanley says, my sister lives in Orange County, California. Back in 2020, our friend was stopped by the police and fined hundreds of dollars for the horrible crime of standing too close to a friend outdoors. What? And the people put up with it. Oh, it's a good thing. We need to do this more. That's what you get. That's what happens when you cut out people's cholesterol and have them watch the drool tube. Sissy, I'm 7 years old with no health problems and take no pharmaceutical meds. You think there's a correlation there, Sissy May? Nah. To the glory of God only. Good for you, Sissy May. Good for you. Jeff Flake, thank you. Yes. Jeff Flake the Flake. What a freaking... I didn't actually see the video, but I saw that title in a thing, Ben. This time you saw the video of Biden saying the first lady's husband caught COVID. You got this. Yeah, he also said he also messed up something else with the first lady's husband too, or first lady's son. Or there's something else he screwed up too recently. Sissy man, I don't do any vaccines. How do you get in and out of a drugstore? I mean, I don't understand, Sissy man. There's so many free things. Free flu shots, free COVID shots, free shingle shots, free pneumonia shots, free shots to fix the shots you just got. I know Jill, I don't know if Jill corrected him because I didn't see it, but she's always rushing him off stage when the questions get a little tough. And they rarely get tough, but when they do, let's go. Where's the free heroin shots on the way? I might even take one of those. I would take a free morphine shot. I definitely would take. I would take a morphine shot if I had to pay for it, even. But that's me. To me, there's nothing like opioids. They get rid of pain. That's what I like. And I'm in 24/7 pain. If I'm conscious, I'm in pain. So I like stuff that gets rid of that. And if I eat bacon or hot dogs with processed nitrates, I'm in a lot of pain. That reminds me, I'm going to cook hot dogs after this. Don't forget, that's right. Don't forget she's a doctor and a damn good one, according to Whoopi Goldberg. She's a fine physician. Low cholesterol. She must be on statins. Not that Whoopi Goldberg needs statins to be stupid, but that helps. I got to the point, there was a guy at the gym. Your sister takes vitamin B shots. What are they for? They say it's for energy. I don't know why you have to take it as a shot, though. It's the vitamin B12 in particular that she's probably getting. The problem is the B vitamins they should be taken together. They do some weird stuff when they're not in combination with the other B vitamins. And as such, like in meat and stuff like that, the B vitamins are always together in the eggs and stuff like that. They're not individual. You don't just get. Now, certain things are more rich in like B6 or B9 or whatever. But generally speaking, they have all the B vitamins in a food if it's got any at all. Not always, but as a general rule. Now, I used to get that because it was like, you feel low energy? We'll give you a B12 shot. And I had like 2 of them in my life. And both times I didn't notice any difference. So I was like, why am I doing this? It was long before I even thought anything was untoward with the medical community. What is this? Mrthriveandsurvive. Mrthriveandsurvive. I don't know what that is. Is that the B12? Killing Dead says you have better chances of pain medication than a pain management specialist. Most regulars try to avoid it, but pain managers seem to be more likely to. I go every month for my prescription. Killing Dead, I just quit a pain management specialist. In fact, I quit the last 2. I quit the VA one, which you cannot get a pain pill through the VA. You can get crap. They gave me all kind of crap. They gave me nothing but side effects. And they will not give you an opioid. They just will not do it. When the VA used to be one of the biggest dispensers of it. And I've never gotten it through the VA, by the way. But my pain management doctor, I went to them for a year without even asking for it. I was there to get shots in my shoulders and stuff like that. And finally, I did ask for it. And they said no. And then I talked to the doctor. It was an assistant who said no. And I talked to the doctor separately when he gave me a shot. I said, why can't I get it? He said, I'll look at your chart. Well, he didn't. I had to call back in a month. Then he looked at it. Then he said, okay, yeah, you're approved. So, and then she said, he's approved you for this medicine or this medicine. And I looked them both up. They're still this bull crap medicines. They're not opioids. One of them was, I thought one of them was an opioid, but it's something they give you to get off of opioids. And supposedly it helps with pain. Well, I found that none of these other things help with my pain. Nothing helps with my pain except for opioids. And I only need them at night. I can get through the days okay because I'm moving and doing stuff. It's at night when I'm not doing anything, I'm just sleeping, that everything starts to really hurt. I wake up in severe pain. And again, I'm not supposed to take NSAIDs, and which are non-steroidal anti-inflammatories like ibuprofen and naproxen and all that. But I still take it because I get to the point where it's so bad I got to take something. And the reason why I can't take it is because it helps. Since I have stents, it helps create clots, thickens your blood. So I'm not supposed to have it, but I get to the point where I just can't stand it anymore. Now, I'm sure if I really search, but it'll take money, I can probably get them. But I need like 2 at night. One to get me to sleep, and then when I wake up in the middle of the night and I'm in pain, I'll take one then. That would work. I don't need them during the day. Sugar with cholesterol, bad health combo. Sugar is worst thing for health. Yes, the worst thing you can do is combine sugar with fat. That's the worst combination there is. Fat without sugar, it's fine. Sissy May, I only have 4 sisters and 1 brother left, so I intend to visit them all when possible. Yep, I'm at that age too. I have this thing, I don't know why, that I think I'm going to die at either age 62 or age 69. I have no clue why those numbers are in my head. And I'm 61 now, so I'm going to go back and visit my sister. We're having like a little mini family reunion at the end of April. And so, yeah, for the same reason. And I don't care if I die. I've talked about this before. And I'm not suicidal. Don't send the white coats to me, YouTube or the internet. I just look forward to the other side. Killing Dead. That's just odd. Where are you from, Killing Dead? They prescribed me 120 a month. I tried that once. You wouldn't do it. I have had tons of MRIs and steroid shots. I suppose the only reason I can stand up straight and go to work. Certain places of the country are more apt to give you pain medication than others. We have stories that are just unbelievable. The person who some of you may know had a YouTube channel. It was called Headlines with a Voice. And the person that did it, her name was Nancy Morgan Hart. And unfortunately, she got spinal cancer. And the doctors would not give her pain meds. And the story is, and I believe it, there's no reason for people to make it up, is just before she died, she was screaming in agony, and they would not give her anything. And then she finally died. Wow, Sissy May. See, that doesn't happen anymore. 16 of us, 9 brothers, 6 sisters plus me. You just don't see families that are that big. That's the biggest problem with the world. It's the biggest problem with the world isn't overpopulation. It's underpopulation. The world is not producing enough to replace itself. Just economically, let's look at the reverse. The baby boomers after World War II here in the United States caused the greatest, longest economic expansion and, quote, good times, unquote, that this country has ever had. And it happens in other countries when they experience the exact same thing. So now reverse that. You have less people buying goods ahead of you and less people supporting the older generation. It's a reverse pyramid when you put it out for, most of the population is aging in this country. The baby boomers are now the last generation, or the current generation that'll die off. And under it, there hasn't been replacement. For a while it was just about, I think it was 2.1 per couple. So you're having 2.1 babies per. That's not really a replacement, because what happens is some of that zero point 0.1 or 0.2 or whatever that makes it even will die before they get old enough to procreate themselves. So they say 2.1 is replacement or barely above it, but it's really not, because not that many people will survive, and not everybody has kids. Not 100% of the people have kids, and the world is now in the situation, including the Chinese, because what they did with their population, if you don't know about that, look into it. Pretty gross. How severe they locked down on people having babies and different things like that. But the world is not. Putin has talked about it. The biggest problem with what he called the white nations is they're not replacing themselves. And he knows that that's an economic. He's not talking about it on a racial thing. He's talking about it on an economic. He's talking about the Western European countries, the West, and Russia, because they're Caucasian. They have a serious issue because the reproduction rate is not high enough. It's not high enough to sustain the older generation to start with. And it's also not enough for them to produce enough people to supply goods for themselves. It's a horrible spiral that you would think would be a good thing. It's sort of like they push that inflation is a bad thing. So you would think, oh, well, deflation's got to be a good thing. Prices going down. Deflation's actually worse. It's actually worse. We had deflationary pressures during and after the 2008 financial crisis. That was the problem. You need to have just a slight amount of inflation, and hopefully your wages keep up with that or slightly exceed it. That's what works. When you have rampant inflation like we have now, of course, I'm sorry, Joe, it's transitory. That's horrible. And you're like, I want prices to drop. But if they keep dropping, so the biggest deflationary thing we had was $1 million houses were selling then for $200,000. There was a big bust in that industry. So everything related to that industry had big deflation with it. And that's what's going to happen after this hyperinflation, because you don't, right now, like in Arizona, we're the hottest real estate market in the probably the world, but at least in this country. More people move here than anywhere else right now. But what's going to happen is, as people are continuing to age, you have people getting out of houses, going into either old folks' homes or downsizing and living in, like what I'm living in, a trailer, whatever, not a trailer, but a mobile home. And so all of a sudden, they're still building tons of houses, but you end up with people not having enough. Like a lot of them are like 4, 5, 6, 6 people in the family, so they need three or 4 bedroom houses and stuff like that. Now you have, if the average couple has 1 or 0 children, they don't need a 3-bedroom house. They're better off just in a 1-bedroom apartment. So you're going to have this collapse again. But it's not going to be just in real estate. It's going to be everything related. The automobile industry. Everything is based on growth. When you're a private company in capitalism, everything is based on going to the board of directors and saying, we're going to increase profits by X. Well, how do you do that when your customer base is shrinking? Now, it's not to the acute point yet, but we're close. We're very close. And certain industries are already just about ready to start collapsing because there just isn't enough supply of people. But it's a serious problem that nobody talks about. Fred, sugar scratches blood vessels. There is nothing good about sugar, folks. Plants. All plants make sugar. Photosynthesis. Sugar scratches blood vessels and cholesterol clings to inflammation to heal. Absolutely 100% correct. Cholesterol will build the more sugar you eat to cause clogs. And the sugar also causes imbalances in the hormones, which causes calcium to be deposited as well, which makes the paste, the concrete. There is nothing good about sugar except for the taste. Killing Dead, I have 4 sons, 13, 7, 4, and 1. Wow, you got a spread. My wife is trying to talk me into trying one more time for a girl. I'm trying to stand at no. You can greatly increase the odds of having a girl under certain circumstances. You get the pH to change in the woman's blood, and I think the more nourished the woman is, the more likely she is to have a girl. I think. Check on that. But there's things you can do to give you like maybe a 20-point advantage, like 60-40, maybe even a little bit more. Sissy May, I'd love to own a mobile home. Not on my Social Security, so I live with one of my kids. And I hear you, Sissy May. I wish I could live with one of my kids because I own a mobile home, but the rent is so high. It's like owning a house. Oh, there you go, Sissy May. You're growing your own stevia. Good for you. You're going to use the root or the leaf or both? There you go, attached. You should come on. You should come on the stream when I do the private muscle fast talks. You know your stuff. All carbs you eat convert into sugar in your gut. Bread, pasta, etc. Bread in particular. Any wheat product. It's so bad. We should start a political party, Josie. The rent is too damn high. The rent is too damn high party. Have you heard of that, Josie? Guy in New York. He ran in 2012 and 2016 for the rent is too damn high party. He got votes. He got votes. Got to go back to H wheat. Yeah, good luck with that. Never mind. They have so screwed it up in this country. White hair guy. Yeah, I think so. African American, isn't he? He's funny. I liked him. He's a funny guy. Yeah, attached Fred speaking the truth. All right, guys, I think I'm going to end in 7 minutes. Better to eliminate all sugar than to use statins. I'd rather eat donuts all day than take a statin. I will never take another statin. I don't care if they say you're gonna have a stroke tomorrow if you don't take statins. Oh well, I guess I'll have a stroke tomorrow. I'm not going to die a mental midget or mental. I'm not going to die a Joe Biden. That's my goal. I don't want to be a bumbling idiot, which is what I was on statins. Actually, I could coherently have a conversation. That wasn't the problem. The problem was remembering that I had the conversation in the first place. And telling the same thing. I must have been so irritating to people. Surprised that because I was making videos down, surprised I didn't make videos over and over on the same subject. Maybe I did. Statins also low good cholesterol. And evidently, Sissy made the LDL is good cholesterol too. They're both good cholesterols. Your body is naturally going to put everything in its own preferred. This is assuming you don't screw it up. It's going to put it in its own preferred ratio, especially cholesterols. It's so genetically different with each person. And families have the same thing. I can tell you my brothers and sisters' cholesterol level and my mother's, it's all the same. They're all within 20 points, LDL and the HDL. because that's what our heredity dictates. Worried about her health. She's had issue with pregnancy. Oh, that's not good. My 7-year-old almost killed her, but she talked me into more kids. Wow. Josie, been on statins 5 years. Now, Josie, if you don't have that issue, some people do not. Some people do not have that issue. Well, thank you, Bonnie. She says it's been a great live, Rich. Love all you good people. Same here. Good conversation tonight. All over the place. Like I said, you never know what we're going to be talking about, right? Hot little oil and whiskey and whatever. And how wonderful the health industry is. And of course, how wonderful, precious, and dear our government is, and how they look out for us. You feel kind of Biden sick? Josie, you know what? I didn't know that I was doing that until my family told me. And they said it was going on for a long time. They just never told me. I guess they were just trying to be polite or whatever. But finally, they're like, this is, I guess they got old. They were like, you told us this already. I guess it was a long story. I was like, no, I didn't. They're like, yes, you did. And that's when I said to them, I said, okay, the next time, because they said I did it all the time. I said, yeah, John Bergman. I mean, John, I don't know him, Sissy May. But I said, the next time I'm repeating a story, you tell me right away, and I'm going to stop and you finish it. Because I thought they were lying to me. So the next day it happened. They're like, you already told us the story. I said, okay, finish it. They did. I was like, oh, there's the proof in the pudding. Oh, I could go for some pudding. Well, thank you, Tash. I'm glad you love the streams. Whoa, Kim dead. She had 3 seizures, was in a coma for 3 days, and life support for one of those days. She must really love kids. Wow. Maybe that's why. Josie, all I can say is there's a doctor on YouTube. Maybe I'll see if I can look him up. He's a cardiologist. See if I can find it real fast. I'm not a doctor, but he is, so listen to him. Vitamin K2, a neglected player in cardiovascular health. Does vitamin K2 clear your arteries? Studies show higher vitamin K2 intake reduces the risk of dying from heart disease by 57%. You're not going to run on a treadmill and do cardio, quote unquote, and get a 57% reduction in your chance of getting heart disease. It's not going to happen, folks. It can reduce the progression of arteriosclerosis, the blockage of the arteries that can lead to heart attacks and strokes. How vitamin K2 reduces arteriosclerosis. Is your heart doctor telling you about this? An increase in the intake of vitamin K2, and you got to get a certain kind, by the way, could be the means of lowering calcium-associated health risks. In contrast, K2 is associated with the inhibition of arterial calcification and arterial stiffening, which means that increased vitamin K2 does, be a means of lowering calcium-associated health risks. What you need to do is it's got to have MK7 in it. And I take it twice a day, and I think it's 100 milligrams in the morning, 100 milligrams at night, 200 milligrams a day. That could be a little different than what I'm saying, but I think that's what it is. So let me search on YouTube, see if I can find this doctor real quick. That was a Google search. Is this the guy? Yeah, I think this is him. Let me see. Let me see. Is this him? Well, this is one person. I don't know if he's the same. I'm going to get you this link. This is a doctor, so you can listen to him. Can't listen to me. Anyway, this one cardiologist I saw, I don't think it is this one. Here's the link to this. Went up now. You don't need, in my opinion, my amateur non-doctor opinion, for me, I don't need statins. I need vitamin K2. And there was a doctor, if I can find the original one, I will. He was a cardiologist and always ate the perfect, quote unquote, diet for, because he was a heart doctor. He was thin, in good shape, didn't eat a lot of cholesterol, stuff like that. And he decided to go in and get his score for his arteries. I think it's a calcium score, actually. It's funny. It's right in the name. So he did it just to do it because he's like, yeah, I should check it. And he knew it was going to come out just great. And guess what? It came back. It's like, you're almost dead. You almost need a quadruple bypass. That's how clogged your arteries are. So instead of, I guess, going by his indoctrination, he decided to look into stuff. And he came to the conclusion that it was a vitamin K2 deficiency. It wasn't the statin. It wasn't the cholesterol. It wasn't, the cholesterol, inflammation, and a lack of vitamin K2, which deposits calcium. Calcium is a rock. Calcium is a rock. It's hard. You mix that together, and you got the material to make the cement, the cement pond, as the Beverly Hillbillies would say, the cement to clog your arteries. And he came up with this protocol. Now, he took something else to it first because he was so messed up. It was another vitamin or something. But it's vitamin K2, and it's got to have MK7 in it, MK-7. That was the solution, and he's fine. Dr. Ken Berry. I do know Dr. Ken Berry. I'm subscribed to him, actually. Your cholesterol is always good, but your mind is very fuzzy. That's it, Johnny. And it takes about 6 months before it comes back to good. Just to let you know. I would say that's probably a pretty good guess anyway. I can't tell you. You ask your doctor if you should start there. Yeah, CABG. CABG. Cardio aneurysm. No, I don't know what that is. Oh, an aneurysm repair on my heart 5 years ago. I don't know what CABG is. Doesn't sound like it's a clog, though. Very nice message, Anthony. Thank you. God bless our brothers and sisters in Christ. Amen to that. So anyway, check out that link. And that's a good start. I'd like to find that one because that was an interesting story because he was indoctrinated and believed all the hype and all the bull crap until he really looked into it himself. It's like the Bible. Everybody believes the hype and the bull crap that they're told until if you can force them to actually open their mind and look without bias, then they find out, oh, I've been lied to. Just like everything else. You think they're going to tell you the truth about everything in the Bible, but lie about everything else? Does that make sense to you? Where would I find the muscle stream? I am new to bodybuilding. I've learned a lot in a short time and eager to learn more. Attached, I have a YouTube channel. It's called Muscle Fast. And you know what? I think I have 102 subscribers now, so I can actually use the correct or the link for it. It's not cruddy, but for now, since I don't have that set up, I'll use the cruddy one. I'll give you the let me find the channel. And I'll give you the link to it. Called Muscle Fast altogether. Muscle Fast. AST. And I've got 13 videos there, and they're categorized by, they're all in playlists. There's going to be a lot more videos coming. My dog got sick, so I kind of stopped. But I'm getting back to it now. This weekend, if not before, I will be back to doing it. And I'm going to, at some point, you're hearing about it way earlier here. Here's the link to the channel. Please subscribe there. You'll definitely know there. And tell everybody you know that's into it too, because I'm going to be giving away good free advice, 45 years of advice. I've done the mistakes. I've done everything. And wow, Sissy May, lucky you. Brother-in-law's going to, and gaming computers are the best. The computer that we do with the stream on, it's a gaming computer because the processor is so well. And because I make videos and process them and stuff, it needs to have a fast video processor. Thank you, Attached. But I'm going to be talking about it on here first. And then I got to figure out how I'm going to do it. What I'm going to do is I need to get a membership site thing on the site, or membership where you can go sign up. And that way I can contact you. So look for that. What will happen is on the MuscleFast site, when you get there, musclefast.net. Actually, you need to make sure you go there too. Musclefast.net. That gets all the videos. They pop within 5 or 10 minutes of me uploading. They'll get onto the site automatically. But it takes 5 or 10 minutes usually. Sometimes 15 at the most. But the latest video will always be at the top on the site. But look for in the menu, it's not there now. It will say membership or something like that. And it'll be free to sign up. And then we can do streams to everybody that's doing that. Because I'm not going to do it published. It's going to be, you need the link to see it. Or if I do publish it on MuscleFast, right after it's published, right after the stream, it's going to be turned to unlisted. Because it ruins your channel, literally does. So anyway, good to have your board attached. You just started. How old are you attached? Yes, musclefast.net, N-E-T. See, never mind those. Thank you, never mind. Awesome advice at MuscleFast. You're going to learn stuff about stuff it'll waste your time doing, because I wasted my time doing stuff. I'm going to be doing my own, and the people on here that are first there, they're going to get this too. I just asked for a donation if you can afford it. I'm going to do my shoulder program, which I can get you bolder shoulders. No, it ain't going to happen in 2 weeks. That's another part of what's wrong with the industry. People think you can totally transform your body in 3 months. Please. Didn't take you 3 months to get to where it is now, did it? 33 attached. Perfect. And Josie, you're 47. So anyway, yeah, it wasn't until I hurt my shoulders. I have 2 bad rotator cuffs, and it's by far my best body part now. And my shoulders, frankly, they sucked before that because I was doing the traditional military presses and a few lateral raises and things like that. It wasn't until I hurt my shoulder so bad that I couldn't do any pressing movements whatsoever that I really looked at it and said, okay, what is the function of the shoulders? How do they work? And am I working them sufficiently and the way they need to be worked to grow? And what I found out was the whole traditional thing with working shoulders is wrong. And so I trust my own mind. So I was like, okay, this is what my research shows me. I'm going to do it. And bam, in a month and a half, 2 months, I knew I was doing the right thing because all of a sudden my shoulders looked like they never looked before. They weren't great, but they weren't flat like they were before. So it's stuff like that I've learned. Supplements that suck that people still use. Um, Never mind. Rich likes chatting with his way too much to leave. He can't help himself. Yeah, I guess I can't. But anyway, there's stuff you'll learn that you just won't pick up from other people. And trust me, today I counted 6 people at the gym. No, seven people at the gym said hello to me and started talking to me about all this stuff. These are people that they're like, man, your shoulders are great. How do I do it? How do I get triceps like yours? I've been working out for 30 years and I can't, whatever. So now when I see them, they're doing my thing because they see what works. But anyway, um, I'm going to give a lot of that advice away. Yeah, I'm going to eventually charge people for private sessions, but I want them to know they're going to get their money's worth out of it. You're so right, never mind. Please forgive me, Lord. You're not supposed to do research on your own. You have to trust the experts. That's what I did. I trusted the experts for a long time. How did you injure your shoulders, I may ask? Uh, I wouldn't even have an answer for that attached because there was not one thing. It's just all of a sudden they started hurting. And I thought actually what hurts them most more than anything else is doing bicep curls, regular bicep curls. I don't know why. It's because the shoulders, they support and they keep the arm steady. And there's a lot of tension that gets, especially when you get near fatigue. So I have alternatives for that too. But because my biceps, they're not hurting. And I haven't been able to do them right for a couple of years too. There's ways around everything. But I asked my supposed surgeon because I thought I needed surgery because this one hurts so bad. I was like, it's got to need surgery, the right one. So when he comes on, he goes, your left shoulder is actually worse than the right. And I said, really? He said, yeah, it's just where it's injured. It just happens to be an area where it's a lot of nerves, so to speak. But he said, with both of them, both left and right shoulder, he said it's just wear and tear over the years. And I said, you mean like bodybuilding? Because I've been doing that for so long. He said, actually, I've seen people that never bodybuild in their life and their shoulders are worse with wear and tear. He said, you just happen to have it in a place that hurts. And he said, think of your shoulders as huge mass. I can't remember what number you used, 5,000 millimeters or by 5,000 millimeters, something like that. He said, you've got one little 5 millimeter square cube that's injured in this shoulder. And he said, I don't even want to do surgery on that. He said, I think we can probably fix it doing a couple other things otherwise. And I was very happy about that because it feels like I need surgery. But he said, no, your shoulders aren't actually bad. They just happen to be bad in a part that hurts. My left shoulder, actually, with the steroid injection, I don't, 99% of the time, I don't even feel it until about 6 months is up. And then I got to get another shot. The right one is, man. So I thought the left one started first, and I thought it's because I used to pitch and I'm left-handed, but evidently the left arm isn't typical of that either. So, but it's both rotator cuffs. And what's really funny is, the when he told me that it was such a small area and it did need surgery and there's other ways to fix it, blah, blah, blah. When I lifted after that, it's like somehow it didn't feel as bad because I was so worried that I was going to injure it even worse by lifting. It's like it made a difference. It's like a psychological thing. It's weird. There you got it, Eric H. Too many birthdays. That's all. What a mess. Yep. I'm. He thinks PRP will help me, which is platelet-rich, plasma-rich platelets. That's where they take your own plasma and they grow more out of it, more blood or whatever, and they inject it into the site. He said because my injury happens to be near a tendon. He said the blood supply isn't good there. You need blood to fix stuff. And I had that once before on an ankle injury, and it didn't do anything. But he said, no, you need to have it done like 2 or 3 times before you notice it. I was like, oh, they only did this once in my ankle, so maybe that was the reason. So anyway, attached, that's the answer. And my shoulders rock. They're really, it definitely is my best body part. Um, the worst body part is and I'm going to do a series on this too, is my legs. I couldn't work legs for 22 years because of back issues. I had back surgery and stuff like that. Finally, I got strong enough to where I'm like, okay, now I can do legs. And now my knees can't take it. But I don't care. I'm working through it. I'm working around it, and they're starting to finally grow. But it looks like I never hit legs because I never could. My back was so bad I couldn't walk at times. Literally could not walk, get up. You always had pain when you did curls. Stop doing your favorite pull-ups, laying down. Oh yeah. Gotcha. Now, did you have pain in the shoulders attached? I found a couple things I can do. If it's your shoulders, I got something that you might want to try. And even that will give me pain in the right shoulder when I'm at the end, when I'm fatiguing, but it's not bad. Yeah, shoulders. Okay. You know what concentration curls are? That's where you put your, got to do this way. You put your arm between your legs. That's how I do it. And your leg becomes the support instead of your shoulder. Your shoulder still will, just out of habit, it'll support it. But then you do the curls that way. Okay, with your elbow up against the inner thigh. You have to lean forward and do it. Try that. Try it with a light dumbbell, and see if I can get up to about 55 pounds, and I'm still okay. I can't go beyond that because of another injury, a neck injury I sustained in the Navy, gave me nerve damage down the right arm, and so the right arm just won't get stronger. Yeah, try that, see if it works. The other thing I've recently tried that used to hurt that doesn't now, I don't know why, is preacher curls, where you're on a machine and it's on an angle down. It's supporting you, that's what it is. And then you curl up like this. But you're kind of bent over as you do it, if you know what I mean. But the preacher curl thing, you do 2 arms at a time. There's a nice preacher curl machine at my gym. That all of a sudden I can do, and it doesn't hurt where it used to. So there's a couple things you might want to try. I've also been able to, the arm blaster, if you know what that is. That's a thing that sits here. It goes across your chest, and it's got an angle to put your arms in, and it supports you too. But I find I can't go that heavy. I can go heavier than regular curls, but I can't go that heavy before it starts hurting. What I do with that is I do hammer curls that way, or cross body curls, I call them. So those are 3 different things you might want to try. There's also another answer. I don't want to keep going, but there's one more. On the elbow, I got you. Okay, the preacher curls. Try a 1-arm low cable curl, where this I can go really heavy on. See if I can show you what I mean. It's where you grab the cable, it's low, all right, and you put your arm back a little bit. I call them behind cable curls. You put the elbow back, and then you curl it up, the cable, 1 arm at a time. And you keep the cable parallel with your arm. I can do those heavy, and it doesn't hurt my shoulder. Good night, Josie. Talk to your doctor. Sissy May, I'm turning into. I went on for a long time, didn't I? Sorry about that, guys. But anyway, glad to have you when they're attached. But it's stuff like this, like little stuff I've just picked up over the years, and I guess like Christians say, all things work to the good for those who love God and are called according to His purpose. If I can help somebody else because I went through something, fantastic. It's freaking awesome. Cables usually don't hurt. That's good. Yeah. All right. God bless each and every one of you. Unless I get a strike tonight, I don't think we went against CDC at all. But you never know. Then Friday, we'll be back on Mr. Thrive and Survive. Otherwise, we'll be back here Wednesday on this channel and on Mr. Thrive and Survive if they give me a break and do it a day early, which they seem to do sometimes. It's funny. It's I've been good night, Bonnie. Yeah, me too, Attached. Me too. Can't wait to do it. I love to teach, and this is something I know. So Wednesday we'll be on one or both channels. If you don't see, well, we'll be on one. If Thrive and Survive is available, I won't come on Wake the Republicans and we get a split stream going, which others don't like. I don't mind it because I see both, but the others don't like it. So Wednesday, God willing, as long as everything goes well, my car, I don't think will be in the shop then. And same time, which I know is an hour later for you. I might be able to switch a little earlier, maybe a half hour earlier in the streams. I don't know if that would work for people or not. I don't have Charlie right now, so I probably can. But we'll see. All right. Thank you, Anthony and Whaler Beef, Vintage, all of you, Attached, Bonnie Gilbert, all you guys, Josie, Sissy May. Thanks for a great talk. Eric H2, everybody else here, never mind. So we'll see you Wednesday, guys. God bless. Take care. And watch those History of Flat Earth videos. There's 2 of them. You're going to like them. You will. Bye-bye now.